Hi there, Cancer. All I gotta say is, wow, you have a really interesting and intense reading. You noticed in my introduction that 5 planets at some point in April are retrograde, and this is wreaking havoc with all the signs. It's causing dissension, arguments, and with Mercury going retrograde too, it's causing misunderstandings. So really don't feel alone. But in your reading, there is a light in the tunnel, and everything will turn out well. Let's get into the reading. On the bottom left at the base of your spine for sourcing and urgings, receive the Ace of Swords. This is a fickle kind of energy. It can cut and undercut, or it can heal and rebuild. But this Ace of Swords here is also saying that it was a rough road to get to this new beginning. And the clarification card, the 9 of Wands, is reinforcing that. You've been in a battle and you're all beat up, you're all wrecked, and you're at a timeout. This is your respite. Although you realize the battles aren't over and you have to go back in. There's going to be more battles, not just one battle. But it's a 9, so at this point, it's time to have a bit of a leap of faith and realize that you'll be successfully jumping over the finish line. Now above the Ace of Swords is the 9 of Swords. It's pointing right up to the 9 of Swords. You're kind of feeling like a victim or a martyr of misfortune. You're wondering, why is this happening to me? It's like adversity has beset you. But I'm asking, could all this melodramatic chaos that you're feeling, is it just like conjured up from an overactive imagination? Truly something might have sparked this feeling of sorrow or dejected feelings, but perhaps everything isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe it's just like a bad dream. What you need to do is dispel this aura of negativity. It might be easy to say, but it feels like you've had your double indemnity of frustration recently. This is causing an obstruction in your spiritual awakening and your growth as a person, and maybe even affecting your sex life. And you have to start resolving some of these issues, because worry is not going to help. Now the clarification card is the Moon. This is really interesting. There's some feral, raw, irrational emotions that are peaking inside you. The darkness is instilling fear of the unknown. There's something that you don't know about that's connected to the 9 of Swords. It's an internal struggle also that's causing all of this personal conflict. It's like there's an illusion going on. The Moon always brings illusions. Illusions are perceptions, or can I say deceptive appearances, or false ideas, or beliefs. You know, I really hate to pop your preconceived bubble, but maybe you haven't known some truths, or you haven't faced up to some truths. And you've put yourself into some kind of self-imposed martyrship. Now up in the solar plexus, for your sensing and feeling, once again you've got a heavy card. This one's about carrying a heavy load. The 10 of Wands. And you feel like, why me? Why am I having to do all of this work in my life, and I'm not feeling like anything's being resolved? I'm not feeling comfortable. But the clarification card is the 10 of Pentacles. In reality, you actually do have comfort in your life, stability, family, friends. Let's do a little summary of this unconscious side. You have the Ace of Swords and the 9 of Wands, and you have the 9 of Swords. You have the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. So the two nines are cards of completion, and the two tens are endings and new beginnings. So this is telling you, you're going to shove all this aside. It's going to be gone. There's only one major arcana card, even in the whole deal, and it's telling you that it's an illusion. Now let's look at the center card. You received the Hermit. You want to go out of this funk. You want to see the light. You want to gain wisdom about what you're not understanding. You want spiritual awakening. And the light in his lamp is showing you enlightenment, and the staff in his hand is guiding you along. And the clarification card is the Four of Swords. Both cards, the Hermit and the Four of Swords, want you to contemplate and think about what you're doing. But let's look at it again. The Hermit is a 9. You're at a completion point again. And there's something really interesting about the swords that's going on, all of this. Now look at the 9 of Swords on the left. The swords are pointing towards the Hermit and the Four of Swords. Now there's 3 swords pointing down to the man on the tomb. And under the man on the tomb is a sword pointing directly to the Ace of Swords. Tarot cards are so incredibly amazing. They give you messages in all different ways. And this is some message for you, that you have to get out of this loop of the swords. The swords are our teacher. They're harsh teachers. And it's telling you, yeah, I'm giving you a new sword reality. I'm giving you a new beginning with the Ace of Swords. Now down on the bottom right, you receive the Five of Cups. You want to revert back to, oh no, the glass is half empty. I'm not gonna. But you don't want to do that. Let's now take a real good look at the conscious side. You have the Five of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is the clarification card. All of a sudden, we're back into Cancer land. Cups, emotions, love. You really ignored the Ten of Pentacles on the left side, because Cancer is the sign of a comfortable home. This is what you covet. And this is what you can have, because this is in your feelings and sensing. You know it's there. You just have to let it surface. So let's go back down to the Five of Cups and up along it. You've got 2 King cards posturing beside these 2 Cup cards. I'm not going to get into the meaning of them. I mean, you know, the King of Wands can be fire in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Maybe somebody comes into your life to help straighten out some things. And then again, the Pentacle King can represent somebody from an earth sign, and the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. But it's just saying that these kings are here to help you along. It's bringing spirit, strength, determination from the King of Wands, and it's bringing wealth and health from the King of Pentacles. Now you're back into this, the cup is half empty, but if you go up above that to the third eye, and you're seeing and envisioning, you have the Eight of Cups. You're walking away. You've had enough. And really, it is time for you to take a handle and use the control and responsible feelings that the kings have. And here up at the crown for knowing and understanding, you got the Six of Wands. You're the victor. You overcame all of these adversities, whether illusions are real, and probably a little bit of both. And the clarification card is the Ace of Cups. You're at the apex. It's telling you, it's giving you a new beginning, a new lease on love and emotions. And this is where you want to be. This is Cancer. Now here on the left is the past card. And receive the Moon again. It's telling you it was an illusion. You know, you were perceiving things wrong. And if not, you were worrying for no reason. Now the future card on the right is the Seven of Pentacles. I call this almost a harvest card. And it's telling you, yeah, if you watch what you're doing very carefully now, you can have abundance. This card is a tenuous card where something's ripe out in the field and you're ready to harvest, but you haven't harvested yet, and things can still happen. I mean, you know, there can be frost, flood, hail, and you have to be attentive in order to receive the fruits of your labor. Let's take a look at the Doreen Virtue card messages from the angels. We receive Francesca. What do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. We definitely saw the negativity thing going on, especially with the Nine of Swords. The Three of Pentacles is about building something. You've got the scaffolding up and something's under construction. Normally this is associated with a lot of people in your life. It's not something like a Ben-Hur movie with the cast of thousands, but there'll be some actors involved in this construction. And what is required of this is that everybody be on the same page. The Queen of Wands, she reminds you to review where you came from, where you're at now, and where you're going in the future. She wants you to connect this to possible consequences of your actions, too. She reminds you, too, to stay calm. Tranquil water. Don't allow small things to irritate you until you're insanely mad. Now up above, for your prospects, receive the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Seven of Swords is about somebody stealing, sneaking off with something. Some kind of covert operation or something is going on here. And it could be stealing from you or you stealing from yourself. Because you're allowing things to happen that you know are probably wrong or are not advantageous to your life. And you've chose to just ignore these things going on. And it's probably connected to your emotions or love. Because the clarification card is the Ace of Cups. Maybe your cup isn't being filled with blessings. You're the kind of person that loves to be loved, but you shouldn't have to sacrifice a lot of different things in your life to receive love. Now the funny thing is that your prospects for the future are indelibly connected to your past because you've received the Queen of Pentacles, and once again, you received the Seven of Swords. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is a pragmatist. She's a person that deals with practical affairs. Her eyes are wide open on what's going on around her. And it could be male or female. But then here with the clarification card, the Seven of Swords again, this could be another side of the coin, is that you're breaking away from something. You're breaking away from maybe stealing from yourself, your emotions, or from another person stealing your emotions. You just don't want this anymore. And I pulled a clarification card for the two Seven of Swords, and you received the Justice card. Yeah, justice can be about legal matters, and oh sure, somebody's going to court, or you have a contract negotiation going on and something needs to be signed. But when you see the Justice card, it's usually something's out of balance. And it needs to go back into balance, or else there's going to be some consequences to someone's actions. Justice is going to start wielding the sword of accountability, and somebody's going to have their comeuppance. Now on the bottom, for problems, receive the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands. Do you think there's been a little problem? Well, yeah, The Knight of Wands is a person that's taking a respite from battles. Wounded, wrecked, had enough and needs to rest before he runs back out and gets back into the battle again, because there's going to be more battles. But the clarification card, the Seven of Wands, is saying, yeah, you're going to preside. You're on top of all this. And right now, you're battling people to keep your position. But you have succeeded. The good thing about the Nine of Wands is that it's a completion card. You're done. You're getting to an end point, and you're just about ready to leap over the finish line. And up here for possibilities, or the possibility for prosperity, you receive the Ten of Wands. This is a great progression from the Nine of Wands to the Ten of Wands. And the 10 means endings and new beginnings. It's always a little rough road at the time when things are ending, and it can be sad that you're severing some ties or not having something in your life that you're used to having. It's been a mainstay. But the clarification card is the sun. Your ruler is the moon, and sometimes you're in the shadows. But now you're coming out of the shadows and you're coming into the brilliant light of the sun, the warming rays. It's like a purification. It's offering a new day coming, a new dawn. Or as Homer would say, the rosy fingers of dawn, appearing over the horizon. All of a sudden, you're seeing things with a lot more clarity and understanding. This illumination from the sun is a spiritual enlightenment. But the requirement for the sun card is that you live a simple life. Simplicity comes down to the freedom of complexities, honesty, sincerity, unpretentiousness. And this card sparks the joy of living and the delight of just being alive. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.